Expected to rise 20 to 30 feet along north shores and 15 to 20 feet for west-facing shores. The National Weather Service warns the public of dangerously large breaking waves, definitely conditions for only experienced surfers. Let's go to our first alert forecast with Guy Hagi.
Aloha on this Thursday. The high surf warning has been extended. We're talking north and west shores from Kauai to Maui. It's going to be big, it's going to be dangerous, it's going to be life-threatening. The weather, on the other hand, couldn't get any calmer with light winds, fairly dry conditions, mostly dry this morning. However, with those light winds, there's a good chance for some afternoon clouds that could spawn a few showers late in the day into the early evening, but those showers won't be widespread and they won't amount to very much.
Thank you so much, Guy. And with those big swells also comes hazards. EMS says a man who was found unresponsive yesterday in large surf at Sharks Cove died in an apparent drowning. Lifeguards reached him at around 5 o'clock and performed CPR, but unfortunately he could not be revived. The waves measured about 20 feet.
Right now, the waves are life-threatening. This is, serious surf that we're having. Looks like we're going to have the largest series of swells the next week.
You do have to be careful because we were standing out there and you don't realize that it's going to come up over the berm, like where you're standing, and then suddenly it does. So, I mean, I'm a scaredy cat, so I ran off.
Lifeguards made at least 8 rescues along the North Shore yesterday and warned thousands of people. The giant waves means the eddy could go on Sunday. The Big Wave Invitational is on yellow alert to run at Waimea Bay. Our Casey Lund takes us there.
Aloha from Waimea Bay. It has been a beautiful day up here and a lot of powerful surf. Will it be enough for the eddy to run on Sunday? To answer that question, or at least try to, Liam McNamara is with me from the Rip Curl Eddie Aikau Invitational. Your eyes are on the bay this morning. The call, though, Friday, what are we looking for?
Well, ultimately, we're looking for waves 40 to 50 feet for 8 hours. In order to run this event, we have to have a good solid 8 hours of waves over 40 feet. The swell is forecasted and looking amazing for us to get those conditions. When you're running an event like this and to have a full day of competition, you got to look at swell size, swell direction, the wind condition, and the timing of the arrival. So there's 4 main factors in this. Everything seems to be lining up. I mean, all 4 factors that we look at are all in a higher percentage of being what we want. So that is why we went yellow yesterday, and that is why we will be trying to push into a green pattern tomorrow, which means green is go, and the eddy will be a go on Sunday if we go green tomorrow.
Very good. And earlier today, we caught up with Joey Cadiz, Joey Aloha, who said he's honored to have a special invite from the Aikau family.
Couldn't be more honored. This is a dream come true for me. It's a lifetime journey that's got me to this point. But my love for the ocean, and especially in this place in particular, I think is, I'm really honored to have that recognized by the family, and just that Rip Curl is able to help put this on. We're really excited.
He's a special guy, a lifeguard up here, right?
Yeah, so I mean, we all know Luke Shepherdson. Went from being just a kid on the North Shore, a lifeguard, a family man, to one of the most famous surfers in the world. Luke Shepherdson, kind of my nephew, basically. I helped raise the kid, love the kid like a son, best friends with my kids and things. So that was amazing to, he's an example of what this event is about. A lifeguard at Waimea Bay, a lifeguard on the North Shore. And just winning the event for him was a life-changing moment. Now you have somebody like Joey Aloha Cadiz. He's down here at Waimea more than anyone. The guy's Hawaiian-blooded. His name's Joey Aloha for a reason. And he's been putting in some time out here. There's a very good chance, being the second alternate, the Aikau family and our board of directors, we chose Joey because of his aloha spirit, because of his Waimea, because of being a lifeguard and because of the way he rides Waimea Bay.
Very good. We appreciate Joey for speaking with us today. We appreciate you, Liam. I know you've got a lot on your plate as you're coordinating all this with the help of Rip Curl and the Aikau family, so we'll let you get back to work and take all those calls as we keep our eyes on Waimea Bay here, hoping for the 11th running of the Eddie Aikau Big Wave Invitational, brought to you by Rip Curl and so many other wonderful people that put so much aloha and love into this event. Certainly hoping Sunday works out. We'll send things back to you for now.
Thank you so much, Casey. Now to the latest in the investigation of Tuesday's cargo plane crash near Honolulu's airport. Federal aviation experts are on island examining the wreckage, and they just announced a 2 o'clock news conference. Our HNN crew will be there. We know the pilots lost control of the Kamaka Air Cessna shortly after takeoff. Exactly why is still unclear. The two men who died are identified by loved ones as Hiram DeFries and Preston Kaluhiva. They were heading to Lanai on a training flight. As our Eddie Dowd reports, the young men were passionate about aviation.
I want to show you the memorial that's starting to grow here at the crash site, where loved ones and friends are gathering to honor the lives of the two pilots who died on Tuesday. Loved ones made their way inside the Kamaka Airlines hangar for a private vigil, many carrying flowers and some wearing their pilot uniforms.
We know that there is nothing that we could do or can do right now.
Kamaka Air says the two employees killed in Tuesday's crash were both licensed commercial pilots. Loved ones have identified them as 26-year-old Preston Kaluhiva and 24-year-old Hiram DeFries. Kamaka Airlines employees tell HNN Preston had many years of experience flying with the company. They say Hiram was on his last training flight after months of training. Preston graduated in 2016 from Kamehameha schools, where he was active in sports like kayaking. One of his co-workers at Kamaka also went to school with him at the Kapalama campus.
He's always been the cool, calm, collected man that he is. He made a perfect pilot.
Hiram DeFries is a 2020 graduate of Punahou, where he was a football player who even played at the Polynesian Bowl.
He was a great example to a lot of young players behind him, and he was great support for his teammates. Every weekend we went to battle. Everybody remembers that. And just a good guy. Always had his home was open to everybody. His family is terrific. Big part of the Punahou football program. Yeah, it's just a real heavy. It's a real heavy time.
Hiram was also said to be a fluent speaker of Olelo, Hawaii, taking classes at UH on the side to study the native Hawaiian language. Hiram's longtime girlfriend told us, quote, "To know him was to love him. He was the most kind-hearted, selfless individual who could bring a smile to anyone's face." Kamaka Air tells me they hope to resume some essential air cargo service by 2 a.m. Thursday, and they hope that will be fully restored by Friday. Reporting near Honolulu's airport, Eddie Dowd, Hawaii News Now.
A barricade situation at the Don Quijote along Kaheka Street ended after about 5 hours last night. We're told that a man started to disturb customers around 5 p.m. yesterday, then attempted to light a fire, which activated the store's sprinkler system. Sources said he then barricaded himself in a storage room at the back of the store. It forced shoppers and employees out to the parking lot. Many were caught by surprise by the huge police presence surrounding the building.
Well, I see the grocery shopping and all these police cars here, and sounds like all police station in the whole Honolulu is here.
I was on my way in, and then one worker down the road at the restaurant said, "Hey, you can't go in. There's somebody went cuckoo throwing bottles in the aisle and stuff."
Officers from HPD's Specialized Services Division were there, along with a crisis negotiator. EMS was also in full protective gear, and Kaheka and Pony Streets were closed during the incident. $1.6 billion for Maui wildfire survivors could be in jeopardy. The money was included in a $100 billion spending bill that had bipartisan support to avert a government shutdown. But President-elect Donald Trump and Elon Musk condemned the measure, saying it was full of pork spending. Republican leaders then pulled their support. The money for Maui is supposed to fund new housing initiatives. Both sides now have until midnight Friday to come up with a deal or face a government shutdown. Natalie Brand has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Less than 24 hours after a bipartisan deal unraveled, Republicans are divided over how to move forward.
This is a situation created by Mike Johnson and his leadership team, who clearly failed to coordinate with President Trump, failed to coordinate with their own members, created this bill that's a disaster.
President-elect Donald Trump upended the initial agreement late Wednesday. He told CBS News' Robert Costa that the bill included too many concessions for Democrats, and he now says that he'll oppose any deal that doesn't remove a law limiting how much money the federal government can borrow. House Democrats say this is a problem of the Republicans' own making.
We are prepared to move forward with the bipartisan agreement that we thought was negotiated in good faith with House Republicans, along with Senate Democrats and Senate Republicans.
While some Republicans are calling for a narrow stopgap measure to avoid a shutdown, others are insisting $100 billion in disaster relief must be included.
We're talking about a possible government shutdown here in Washington. Well, there are parts of this country that have been affected by the storm who are effectively shut down. And until we fund them, they have no hope.
The latest funding fight also has some Republicans raising questions about Mike Johnson's future as House Speaker.
This is what you get with Mike Johnson. You get total capitulation.
The new Congress will vote for House Speaker January 3rd. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Murder suspect and former Hawaii resident Luigi Mangione arrived back in New York today to face 11 charges for the killing of United Healthcare's CEO. The charges include first-degree murder and 2 counts of second-degree murder. Mangione is also facing 4 federal counts, including murder through use of a firearm, which could bring the possibility of the death penalty. The 26-year-old will be detained until his next hearing in mid-January. Coming up, a new place to live for Lahaina residents. Our Chelsea Davis shows us a newly completed affordable housing complex.
From the rise of popular weight loss drugs to the return of diseases preventable by vaccines. I'm Michael George with the year's top health stories.
Aloha and welcome back. State ag inspectors say they used bananas, apples, and cantaloupe as bait to capture this opossum at an unnamed big box store. They set up the traps in a store container where it was spotted a week ago. The Department of Agriculture is now testing the animal for rabies. This is the 3rd opossum captured in Honolulu this year. Out in windward Oahu, the city celebrated the grand opening yesterday of Kane'ohe's Kahua o Waikalua Park. It's at the end of the Kulauli Street near the Bayview Golf Course. The $250,000 project included new fencing and other revitalizations of the area. The city plans to create more off-leash parks in the future. Dozens of Maui fire survivors are moving into a new affordable housing development in Lahaina. And as our Chelsea Davis shows us, they're getting some help stocking up.
This new affordable housing complex off Keawe Street in Lahaina is called Kaiaulu o Kukuia. It's a total of 200 units, and so far 40 units are filled. To welcome these fire survivors into their brand new homes, CVS Health have organized these gift baskets for them. Now, volunteers put them together at the University of Hawaii Maui College earlier this morning. They include things like cookware, broom sets, towels, air purifiers, water filter pitchers, and children's night lights. They were delivered to the residents here this afternoon, and those receiving it say there is no feeling like finally having a home.
I told my son, I'm like, you're gonna get your own room. And he's like, oh, really? And just like seeing him excited, because he doesn't really understand. He started talking recently more about, oh, my toys are gone. All my toys are gone in my bedroom. And I'm like, it's okay.
We have a duty to support our greater community and our maka'ainana. So we are so appreciative to give back to the students and their families and all of the Lahaina affected families. And hopefully they have a warm welcome.
This development marks the first new permanent housing on island since the tragic fires last year. CVS Health, the parent company of Long's Drugs, invested $17.5 million and partnered with Hunt Capital Partners, Ikaika Ohana, the University of Hawaii Maui College, and 3150 Management to make it possible. Now, the rent here ranges from $700 to approximately $2,000 depending on the unit size. There is a wait list, but we will be posting details on how to apply on HawaiiNewsNow.com. Reporting from Lahaina, I'm Chelsea Davis for Hawaii News Now.
Still ahead, a Hawaii Island photographer clinches a prestigious national award. More on that in a few minutes. And right now, let's send you back live out to Oahu's North Shore. Guy Hagi is back with a look at the wave heights and your first alert 7-day forecast coming up next.
How's it on this Thursday? Look how clear skies are across the state. There is a weak front, though, coming in. We'll likely see a slight uptick in windward and Mocha showers, although that's going to come later in the day. Because look at this. Look how dry it is right now. Although with those light winds, in addition to those windward and Mocha showers, we'll likely see some afternoon cloud buildups and some afternoon spotty showers into the early evening. So actually, today's going to look a lot like yesterday, although remember, there's going to be a few more windward and Mocha showers. We're still not expecting a lot of rain out of that weak front. And those showers forming in the afternoon, early evening will dissipate in the overnight hours. Now, heads up, there is a high surf warning on from Maui to Kauai for the north and west shores, and it's been extended through tomorrow evening. And we've got another boost set today and an even bigger swell with eddy possibilities on Sunday. So heads up, high surf warning on 20 to 30 today, bigger today than yesterday, 15 to 20 on the west side. There's even another reinforcement coming tomorrow before that giant swell expected in on Sunday. Again, the eddy is on a standby status, so we'll keep you posted. As soon as we know, we'll let you know. So we've got fairly calm conditions, although, like I said, there's a weak front with a few more windward and Mocha showers today. Really not a lot of rain, right? That light wind weather pattern continues through Saturday. Weak trades come back on Sunday, and that's when that giant swell is expected in. On Monday, the winds pick up briefly to breezy levels, and they'll go back down before the Christmas holidays.
Thank you so much, Guy. We're looking back now at the year's top health stories. Lagging vaccination rates led to record cases and deaths for several viruses in 2024, while millions saw extra benefits from weight loss drugs. Michael George reports.
Studies showed weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy have wide-ranging benefits, from Alzheimer's disease to kidney function to addiction. They're so popular, copycat versions popped up.
They have not been safety tested. We don't know if they're as effective as the prescription drug.
The CDC says 2024 had 4 times the number of measles and whooping cough cases than the previous year. Pediatric deaths due to influenza hit a record high, due in part to lower vaccination rates. The American Red Cross declared an emergency blood shortage, with donors at a 20-year low.
People need to realize it's not that hard, it's not that much time.
Dozens of cases of H5N1 bird flu have been confirmed in people. Most infections are traced back to contact with farm or wild animals. Mosquito-borne illnesses caused some panic this summer. Several Massachusetts towns issued voluntary lockdowns in the evening to prevent infection of triple E.
These are recommendations. They're not hard and stop requirements.
A CBS News analysis found foodborne illnesses have increased 42% since 2013. They caused several high-profile recalls, including for E. coli at some McDonald's and for deadly listeria in Boar's Head deli meat.
They're happening more frequently.
The American Cancer Society found colorectal cancer is now the leading cause of cancer death in men under 50, and the second leading cause of cancer death for women of the same age. A separate ACS report shows Generation X and millennials have a higher risk of developing 17 cancers compared to older generations.
It's likely an environmental aspect, whether that's diet, lack of exercise, some other exposure.
The U.S. Preventive Services Task Force now recommends women start receiving mammograms at age 40 instead of 50 and get screened every other year up to age 74. Research from the Annals of Internal Medicine shows alcohol use spiked during the COVID-19 pandemic and stayed high through at least 2022.
People don't know where to get help. They don't know that they need help.
The CDC says opioid overdose deaths slowed to the lowest level since 2020, after peaking in 2023.
I'm blessed to have received this gift, a second chance at life.
And Tawana Looney became the 5th American to receive a gene-edited pig organ. Researchers say this experimental procedure could be a game changer someday for the thousands on transplant waiting lists. Michael George, CBS News.
Kailua Kona photographer Bo Pardao is the winner of the 53rd annual National Wildlife Photo Contest for his photo of a 2-inch long amphipod called a cystostoma. Pardao took the picture last March underwater and at night about 3 miles off Hawaii Island. It stood out from 29,000 other entries, winning him $5,000 and the National Wildlife Nature's Witness Award. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And it's time for some good news now. Kapi'olani Medical Center received 170 teddy bears and other stuffed animals as part of the 7th annual Teddies of Hope project. It was created by Kamehameha's Hawaii graduate Jordana Takaki, mentored by Kapi'olani Dr. Angela Pratt. Takaki works with Kaki Elementary School to raise money and collect donations. The toys will be available in Santa's workshop at the hospital for families to pick out during their stay. And finally, today is the day for everyone with a sweet tooth. It is National Hard Candy Day. Now, most candies are 100% sugar that have been boiled and placed into molds. But did you know some candies were once used for medicinal purposes? Doctors used to prescribe hard candies made with lemon or peppermint to help with stomach problems like indigestion. And even today, we still use lollipops or cough drops to cure sore throats. Of course, what's great about hard candy is it lasts for a while. It's hard to scarf down a lollipop or candy cane without savoring it first. Just be sure to brush your teeth after to get all of that sugar out of your teeth. And let's send things live outside. Once again, we're looking at Oahu's North Shore. Some incredible surf rolling through. The eddy is on yellow alert. It could happen this weekend. And also stay tuned to Hawaii News Now. We'll be bringing you that 2 o'clock news conference. Mahalo for tuning in.